In this video, I'm going to explain why you don't always need a map to get to the best destination. Hi, it's Scott MacArthur here, producer of the Edge of Next vlog, where I try to give you mental models, ideas and inspiration to help you gently move towards the future of work. And hopefully I want to introduce something different in the workplace, something that enables us to consider what we do at work in the context of our return on humanity. So I've been asked a few times by people why I call this place the Edge of Next. Well, it won't surprise you that I came up with it over a long period of time. I was trying to get across the fact that sometimes you just have to go with things, and sometimes we don't always know the way that we're going. Now, one of my great heroes is J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote, of course, The Lord of the Rings, and he's famous not only for those wonderful epic stories, he's also famous for some of his wisdom. And one of the things he said was this: "Not all those who wander are lost." I'll repeat that. Not all those who wander are lost. So I heard that when I was in probably my early 20s in a bed sit in Edinburgh, where a fat chap called Andy gave me the book The Lord of the Rings, and I read it. I found it quite difficult to read, but I read it slowly and carefully, and that quote jumped out even back then. Today it means something pretty profound to me, and it means that word wander is a powerful word. That word wander demonstrates that I don't need to absolutely be on a path all the time. I don't need to absolutely understand where I'm going, because sometimes not knowing where you're going and exploring with curiosity enables the wanderer to find things that no one else has ever seen before. Now, of course, travelling without a map can be dangerous, but it can also be exciting. And that's why in my vlog, I sometimes do things that people don't expect me to do. I'll go into poetry, and I will think about how art can be used in the workplace, or how art can really inspire us to look into the future in a different way. I think that's a great way to think about it. Now, there's another tradition that I became aware of perhaps 4 or 5 years ago, and it came via the wonderful poet David Whyte. And he wrote a poem called Finistere, where he describes the very final stage in one of the great pilgrimages in mainland Europe, the Camino de Santiago. And he says that the end of the journey, the point where the sun meets the water, where you cannot go, your shadow can go but you cannot go, is a mystical moment. Now, I love that idea. It's if we're looking at organisations and we're thinking, where are we going next? Where are we going to wander? Now, I know some companies and some individuals find it really difficult not to have a plan. Now, planning's important, but I think when you're beginning to consider where your business might be going, or how you might be developing a new norm in today's environment, I think that wandering can be very, very powerful. Let me give you an example from my work in consulting and in HR, where I approached it something like this. I was working in a food environment. It was a big food company. We did mainly fish, and we did vegetables, and we did all sorts of things. Just sort of standard supermarket type of firm. And we had a crisis. We were in trouble, and I was brought in towards the last 18 months of that organisation's life, where we were hoping that we could make the organisation sellable to another organisation. I sat down with one of the senior guys. His name is Jim, and he's a very close friend of mine, colleague of mine, and a mentor. And we were talking about, what can we do to really inspire people here, to really help them do the little extra mile, go that little extra mile to add a little bit more value to what they do in the workplace. We were looking at performance management, and you know, it's a difficult area, and I have spoken about it before, but it's one that's full of fads and trends that are not supported with data. But to be honest, I'll give the HR community a bit of slack there, because this is not an easy subject. But Jim and I thought, okay, we were just going back and forth with ideas. You know, do we increase the bonus levels? Do we flatten the bell curve so more people get bonuses? And we were having a cup of tea actually, and we were at the coffee machine and just getting our drinks. And I said to Jim, I said, what if we stop it all together? Now Jim looked at me and he said, oh, I hadn't thought of that. You know, we'd spent hours trying to come up with ideas that we thought would really transform the attitude of people at work. And we thought, so what we did over the next 3 months was we stopped performance management. We stopped it. We stopped them filling the forms in. We stopped them having reviews. We stopped them having IT coming in and telling them how to fill in the various pieces of paperwork. We didn't stop them having conversations. We didn't stop them having morning meetings where they were planning their day. And you know what we saw? In that 3 months, productivity, by the measures that we were adopting at that time, increased across the factory where we were working by 7%. So sometimes just trying a little path that's different can lead you to somewhere very interesting indeed. So I would urge everyone who's thinking about the new norm, the new future of our organisations, our individual new futures, to think about it in a way that gives them space to actually experience things, to consider things, to wander down a path that might fall away. Indeed, in another one of David Whyte's poems called Santiago, also based around or inspired by the Camino, the first sentence of that poem really says it all. It says, the road seen and then not seen. The road seen and then not seen. That's how it feels to be engaged in the future of work. That's how it feels to be standing, as I feel right now, on the edge of next. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting. If you've never been here before, please click the little subscribe button down in the bottom left hand corner here. And if you would like to share it with your friends, that would be fantastic. And if you do also click the little bell, you'll get a notification of when my next video comes out. I'm really excited to hear your feedback and your comments. Thank you very much.